This is Valley View News.
Angelenos have voted, and Eric Garcetti and Wendy Gruhl will face each other in a May runoff for mayor. Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel has left Afghanistan after a troubled tour of the war zone. Commuters are finding major delays along Coldwater Canyon Avenue because of work on a city water pipe.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Ashley Luke.
And I'm Beanie Arana. In Afghanistan, 2 Americans have been killed by an Afghan assailant wearing a police uniform. This is the second attack in 3 days. Officials say 3 Afghan police officers were also killed. These attacks round up Chuck Hagel's first trip to Afghanistan as defense secretary. Hagel is off to a rough start in office. During his trip, he met with Afghan President Ahmed Karzai, who accused the U.S. of meeting with Taliban insurgents. Officials say Karzai may be suffering from anxiety as the U.S. prepares to pull out most troops by next year. Withdrawals are scheduled to take place in 2014. The U.S. commander in Afghanistan says the Afghan military leaders are committed to taking over the security of their country. Afghan leaders are on track to make that transition this summer. Hagel is responsible for overseeing the withdrawal of more than 34,000 troops and equipment from battlegrounds.
Los Angeles Councilman Eric Garcetti got the most votes in the LA mayor's race, but not enough to win outright. He and second-place finisher Wendy Gruhl will meet in a runoff election May 21st.
Malcolm Hoyle was at Garcetti's headquarters as the results of the March 5th election came in. He joins us from the Valley View newsroom.
Eric Garcetti's election night celebration was held in Hollywood, part of the area he represents on the city council. And after a strong showing, he basically guaranteed he will be the next mayor of Los Angeles. Voting in LA may have been done for the night, but Eric Garcetti and his supporters were just getting started. The mayoral candidate held his election night party here at the Avalon in Hollywood, where he said he was up for the challenge.
I'm ready to work as hard as it takes, to get up as early as it takes, and to give everything I've got to earn a powerful victory this May. Let's be clear, we are going to win this race.
But he has not won yet. Garcetti still has to face City Controller Wendy Gruhl in a runoff. The latest results show Garcetti is holding a slight lead over Wendy Gruhl in this battle for LA. With neither candidate receiving a majority vote, LA will head back to the polls in May to select the winner. By the end of the night, it was clear Garcetti was headed for a May 21st runoff with Gruhl. Garcetti's supporters say the Hollywood councilman is the right man for the job.
It's the future for Los Angeles. It's the future for Latino people.
He's got the ability to lead this great city of Los Angeles to the future.
He's been a fighter for intervention, for us to really, get them youngsters out of gangs and stuff like that.
With the May 21st runoff now looming for Garcetti, he says the race will come down to who can get things done.
We're not running for President of the United States. It's not about ideology, it's about effectiveness. So people actually want to know that they can trust that you solve problems, and that's the most important difference. Whether you've done neighborhood turnaround, whether you've done pension reform, whether you've been able to do those things that you depend on a mayor to do.
Garcetti will head back to the campaign trail in preparation for a showdown with Wendy Gruhl in May. If he's elected, he will become the first Jewish mayor of Los Angeles.
Wendy Gruhl is asking her supporters to stay positive as she looks ahead to the runoff election in the mayor's race. Gina Hernandez was there as Gruhl came in second in the March 5th balloting that placed her in the runoff.
Supporters and volunteers of City Controller Wendy Gruhl's campaign gathered at the LA Brewing Company in downtown Los Angeles.
Angelenos want a mayor who can bring people together to solve problems and deliver results.
Gruhl previously focused on basic city services such as sidewalks and street repair. Her alternative nickname, Pothole Queen, was assigned to Gruhl after she insisted on filling every pothole in her council district. Former employee of Gruhl in Housing Urban Development, Johnny Otero, describes the effort Gruhl has made to reach out to those who have served for our country.
Fought in Vietnam, Purple Heart. I feel like we're not a recognized population, but Wendy recognizes us.
From firefighters to disabled veterans, locals from the community spent most of the evening counting down the minutes to hear the final vote. That moment never came because of a runoff with opponent Councilman Eric Garcetti. Former head of Los Angeles Urban League, John Mack, says Gruhl has already overcome obstacles in this mayoral race despite the result.
Tonight is the first important mile of that long journey toward victory.
Nearly 600 people showed up for Wendy Girls election night celebration. Although all the votes are not in as of right now, Wendy has high hopes for the outcome.
The polls had closed at 8 in the evening, and Grill received 29% of the counted votes, while Garcetti received 34%. Neither candidate was able to win more than 50% of the votes, so they will face off again in the city's May election. However, Grill wants her followers to stay positive because they are the determining factor to helping her win.
Mayor Bradley once said, the only thing that will stop you from fulfilling your dreams is you. So now, I need you.
Grill urges her supporters to make phone calls, put up signs, and knock on doors in order to boost her campaign. If elected, Grill will be the first woman mayor in Los Angeles.
The election saw a low voter turnout with only 18% of Angelenos casting ballots. Valley View News reporter Sharnae Davenport tells us about one candidate's campaign that wasn't as successful as planned.
In the race for Los Angeles mayor, top contenders campaigned hard to earn votes. Former city councilwoman Jan Perry spent her election night with family, friends, and supporters. As the numbers started rolling in, Perry held a steady third place behind frontrunners Wendy Gruhl and Eric Garcetti. Final results showed Perry ranking in at fourth place, only pulling in 16% of the vote and just 1,000 votes less than opponent Kevin James.
To all of those who supported me without question, I'm grateful.
A little background on Jan Perry. She comes from a family of political figures and civil rights activists. After earning 2 degrees from USC, she began her career working as a paralegal. Perry has actively engaged herself in successful campaigns, including the one that earned her a seat on the Los Angeles City Council. Jan Perry obviously knows what it takes to win a successful campaign, so why did this one fall flat? Her campaign director says it may have been a lack of funding.
There was an awful lot of resources against us. Considering the amount of money that our campaign had, that we've done a fantastic job of spending those resources wisely and getting our message out there to the voters. I don't think we could have run the race with the resources we had any different.
Jan Perry and her campaign says they were outspent 14-1 next to runoff candidates Wendy Gruhl and Eric Garcetti. After speaking with Jan Perry, she said she would not comment on whether she would endorse one of the candidates in the runoff taking place this May. Reporting in Los Angeles, Sharnae Davenport, Valley View News.
A federal district court jury found former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick guilty on 24 counts of corruption and bribery. U.S. prosecutors accused Kilpatrick, his father, and a city contractor of extortion. The former mayor was accused of steering more than $83 million worth of municipal contracts to a city contractor. The contractor gave some of the money to Kilpatrick. Kilpatrick was once a rising star in the Democratic Party politics. He now faces up to 20 years in prison.
Roman Catholic cardinals held their last meeting before they choose a successor to Pope Benedict XVI. 28 cardinals addressed their colleagues, wrapping up a week of discussion on issues facing the church. Over 150 speeches were made since the meeting started last Monday. The cardinals are scheduled to attend a mass with the public in St. Peter's Basilica before the first ballot. There are a few frontrunners reportedly emerging among the cardinals, but no winner is expected on the first ballot.
The race to replace late Hugo Chavez has begun with personal attacks from Venezuela's top candidates. Interim President Nicolas Maduro, with Chavez wanted to represent his Socialist Party, has formally announced his candidacy. Maduro has vowed to continue the socialist policies of Chavez's 14-year rule, calling himself the son of Chavez. But his main opponent, Enrique Capriles, says Maduro is nothing like Chavez. Capriles claimed Maduro's hid Chavez's real medical condition while he was vice president to better prepare his candidacy. Maduro responded by calling Capriles a fascist who is trying to spark violence. The election is scheduled for April 14th.
The North Korean army has followed through with threats of nullifying the armistice agreement that ended the Korean War in 1953. North Korea was threatening to end the truce because the UN Security Council imposed tougher sanctions after Korea's February nuclear test. White House Press Secretary Jay Carney says North Korea is trying to sabotage efforts for peace.
The DPRK will achieve nothing by threats or provocations, which will only further isolate North Korea and undermine international efforts to ensure peace and stability in Northeast Asia.
North Korea also cut off emergency phone lines with South Korea at the border, but there were no signs of hostility. Newly elected South Korean President Park Geun-hye says her nation must deal with provocation, but promises to continue efforts to build trust with the North.
Police have arrested a man in Hollywood who they say has pulled off a series of robberies. Police say the man was armed with a claw hammer during the robberies and a number of carjackings. Officials say the robber also took the victim's wallets and cell phones, and in one case took someone's saxophone. The crime spree ended with the carjacking on Cahuenga Boulevard, a few blocks from where the arrest took place.
One person has died after being hit by a pickup truck in downtown Los Angeles. The truck was heading south on Broadway when the driver ran into 5 people who were standing on the sidewalk. The Chevrolet Avalanche then crashed through a window at Casa India restaurant. Police say the building was not heavily damaged. It was not immediately clear if the driver was injured or was arrested.
Some Studio City residents are upset with the month-long closure of Coldwater Canyon Avenue. Parts of the busy street will be dug up to replace a 99-year-old pipeline that brings water to the city.
The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power started to restrip the intersection of Coldwater Canyon and Ventura Boulevard for the month-long construction to replace an old pipe. City workers put up traffic blocks in neighborhoods and businesses nearby, causing frustration for commuters passing through the intersection. LA traffic control officers were on site to help direct the flow of traffic while streetlights were down.
It sucks. I had to take my daughter to a birthday party over here, and I just left for a little bit, took a walk, and it took us about triple the amount of time it would normally take us to get from through the valley. I was like, what is going on here?
The major project has homes, businesses, and commuters all affected by the closure of the street. Residents can expect an increase in traffic during the month-long closure of Coldwater Canyon in order to replace the 99-year-old pipe underneath the street. During non-working hours, one lane in both directions will be open for commuters needing this route, although some residents are frustrated with the month-long closure of the street.
Basically, it's just like shutting down the 405 for some people for a month.
We maybe should advise that they will start working at night, so we have that open.
The construction will cause partial closure of Coldwater Canyon Avenue between Ventura Boulevard and Mulholland Drive from March 23rd until April 25th. Construction is planned Monday through Saturday during daylight hours to replace the 60-inch water pipe that brings clean water to the city. The replacement is needed to meet quality water standards after the same pipeline flooded Studio City back in 2011. Residents have a bit of advice for the city.
They should get more people in the project to do it faster and work 24 hours a day, just how they did over the 405, so they can finish faster.
Residents can stay up to date with the latest on the closure of Coldwater Canyon Avenue by checking the LA Department of Water and Power website. In Studio City, this is Ashley Luke for Valley View News.
Coming up next, the Lakers face a tough Eastern Conference opponent. Tiger Woods wins another tournament, his 76th, and Disney's Oz follows the yellow brick road back to the box office.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Jack Frost, you do have beautiful teeth.
My what?
Are they really as white as they say? Yes. Oh, they really do sparkle like freshly fallen snow. This is an excellent example of what teeth should look like. Check out the iridescence of that incisor, the beauty of that bicuspid, the magnificence of those molars. And the best way to achieve such terrific teeth is brushing. 2 minutes, twice a day. Not 30 seconds, not a minute 45. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. They're beautiful.
Welcome back. Here's Vanessa Alvarez with some terrific news for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Thank you, Ashley. Some relief for Lakers fans. Their purple and gold finally reached the 8th seed in the West after they beat the Chicago Bulls.
With the win, the Lakers jumped to 2 games over 500 for the first time this season. Dwight Howard may be one to thank for the victory with 16 points and 21 rebounds. Howard also commented after the game on the not-so-welcoming Laker fans. He said he can't focus on outside matters, but concentrates on what he's trying to accomplish with the team. Clippers center DeAndre Jordan got high praises for his monster dunk in last week's Clipper game against the Detroit Pistons. Fellow teammate Blake Griffin said it was the best dunk of the year and the best he'd personally seen. Jordan said it was the first time somebody actually tried blocking the dunk. The LA Clippers beat the Pistons 129-97. Tiger Woods nailed his 76th PGA Tour victory and 17th World Golf Championship in Doral, Florida last week. Woods shot 1 under 71 to finish at 19 under for the Cadillac Championship tournament. It was Woods' second PGA Tour victory of the year and 4th career win at Doral. Steve Stricker came in second for the tour, and it could be his own fault. Stricker bumped into Woods a day before the tournament and gave him some advice on putting. Woods finished the weekend with an almost perfect putting on the course's fast greens. The NFL's free agency began last week, and some big names were traded right away. Some of the first reported players to switch teams were Ravens wide receiver Anquan Bolden to the 49ers and Vikings wideout Percy Harvin to the Seattle Seahawks. Seattle gave up their first-round draft pick for the ex-Vikings star, who is now in the final year of his rookie contract. Bolden, who was mulling retirement, was traded for a 6th-round pick. The trade comes just weeks after Bolden won his first Super Bowl. That's all for sports. Back to you, Vianney.
Vanessa, did you think that the Lakers were actually going to be making it to this year's playoffs?
I didn't actually. Doubted it a little bit. It seemed like it took them all season to really get a momentum going, get a chemistry.
It was quite a surprise with the performance that they've been having all season long, so it was really unexpected.
Yeah, I agree, but it seems like they're doing good now, and maybe Kobe Bryant has finally accepted his teammate Dwight Howard.
Let's hope they can keep that spark in their chemistry and the Lakers can keep their momentum. Thank you, Vanessa. Now across the studio, Arlette Hartunian tells us about purebred cat competition.
Hundreds of cats were groomed, fussed over, and on their best behavior for the competition. There were felines ranging from purebreds to plain house cats.
The Malibu Cat Club is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. The club puts on a cat show each year at the end of February. This year it hosted a show at the Glendale Civic Center for the 3rd time. The club's secretary, Marty Siemens, says the members are what she likes most about the club.
We have people who've been in this club for 40 years that are still doing it, that are still helping produce the show, even though they're not showing cats anymore.
The club attracts top winning cats from all over the Southwest region. One breeder from Arizona was showing her Abyssinian cat, who ranks among the top 20 show cats in the Southwest.
And he's also in the top 10 for Abyssinians in the country.
The show gave cat lovers the chance to meet the different breeds in person. Among them were Persians and Sphinx cats, 2 of the most popular cat breeds. Some breeders had kittens available for sale for those looking to purchase.
I've got a big liking for cats, and he might adopt one soon. I might adopt one soon.
The Malibu Cat Club has struggled with maintaining memberships with the weakening economy, but hopes to put on shows for many years to come.
The Malibu Cat Club only holds one show during the winter each year. This is because long-haired breeds shed their coats in the summer. Now over to Alexa with your latest in entertainment news.
Thanks, Arlette. Actress Valerie Harper says she is feeling good and hoping for a miracle after being diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. Harper is a 4-time Emmy Award winner playing Rhoda on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. The actress says she broke down when first hearing she would only have 3 months to live. Harper's doctors say her cancer is difficult to treat because it is resistant to chemotherapy. Harper says she hopes her public discussion of cancer will help others in similar situations. Joy Behar will be leaving the daytime talk show The View at the end of the season in August. The 70-year-old comedian has co-hosted the season for 16 seasons. Since its beginning with Barbara Walters. She is the last remaining veteran of the show besides Walters. Whoopi Goldberg, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, and Sherry Shepard remain on the show with Walters. Behar currently hosts Joy Behar Say Anything on Current TV. Motley Crue frontman Vince Neil is recovering from emergency kidney stone surgery in Sydney, Australia. The singer was rushed to the hospital mid-concert with severe pain after only performing 4 songs. Guitarist Nikki Sixx said Neil has been in pain for several days, but still continued on with the show. Neil had been told not to go on stage, but said he couldn't miss a show for fans. The band's tour promoter says Neil will rejoin the tour in Brisbane and Mackay. Oz, the Great and the Powerful debuted in first place at the box office this weekend. The prequel to the classic Wizard of Oz earned nearly $80 million at home and nearly $70 million overseas. The film chronicles the origin of the wizard played by James Franco as he encounters a trio of witches played by Mila Kunis, Michelle Williams, and Rachel Weisz. Oz is earning big for the movie industry after a consecutive 6-week box office low. Jack the Giant Slayer, another reimagined classic, debuted last week as a box office flop, earning just under $30 million. The U.S. labor market improved in February, largely thanks to the film industry. The film sector added nearly 20,000 jobs to the reported 236,000 new jobs in the U.S. This is a 5% employment boost in 1 month in the film industry alone. A study has concluded that people become more interested in zombies when a society is unhappy. This was academic research, by the way. Clemson University professor Sarah Lauro says her study focused on zombie movies and TV shows. She also looked at zombie walks, big groups of people dressed as, well, zombies. Zombie walks peaked in 2005 in case you missed them. That was the same year dissatisfaction with the Iraq War was growing. The largest zombie walk drew more than 4,000 people in New Jersey. Lauro says the interest in zombies is subconscious. That's all for your entertainment news. Back to you, VNA.
Thank you, Lexa. After the break, we'll let you know about the voter turnout in the race for LA mayor. Experts say they've traced a new source of salmonella, and a mother gives birth to her child in the family car.
Come on, let's go.
Just a minute, I gotta finish this.
Wait, you're gonna post those pictures of Mary?
Yep. She thinks she's so hot.
But her mom and dad will see them. Her grandmother, her little sister, everyone she knows, it's gonna kill her.
Who cares? Just a couple of pictures. It's no big deal.
No big deal? Don't. This has gotta stop.
Dude, check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Dude, look at those pants.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
The voter turnout for local elections is often low, but this time around, even fewer people made it to the polls in Los Angeles. Valley View News reporter Julia Cook has the story.
The March 5th primaries had a low voter turnout. There were about 1.8 million Angelenos registered to vote. Only about 16% of them made it to the polling places to cast their ballots, according to the Los Angeles city clerk. Volunteer at the Northridge Recreation Center polling place, Diane de Guzman, says she wasn't too surprised about the low amount of voters.
I didn't expect a lot because it's not like the presidential election, so I'm not really surprised about the turnout right now.
Volunteer Jasmine Stewart says the number of voters for the primaries didn't even compare to that of the presidential elections.
There was a lot more during the presidential election. This one, there's only approximately 60, but the presidential elections, there was a lot more in the hundreds. Definitely not as little as it is now.
De Guzman says they never had a line out the door.
There was 3 people in line. That's pretty much the most.
However, some voters sensed there would be a runoff.
It would be a runoff, yes. I think there will be a runoff.
Candidates Eric Garcetti and Wendy Gruhl encouraged the public to vote during the primaries, but that didn't seem to be the case.
I hope on March 5th I can earn your support and that you will vote for Eric Garcetti as the next mayor of Los Angeles. Thank you.
I look forward to getting your vote, and I look forward to being the next mayor of the city of Los Angeles here from the San Fernando Valley.
Garcetti and Gruhl will face a runoff on May 21st to see which of the two will be elected. Reporting from Northridge, I'm Julia Cook, Valley View News.
It's been 2 years since huge waves ravaged the coast of northeastern Japan. A memorial service for the victims of the earthquake and tsunami that struck Japan will be held near Little Tokyo in downtown Los Angeles. It swept away people, homes, and damaged the Fukushima nuclear power plant. It was the country's worst nuclear disaster, and it could take years for a full recovery. People will join in prayers surrounded by candles to remember the more than 18,000 victims who perished in the tsunami.
A state judge has overturned New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg's ban on large sugary drinks. Judge Milton Tingling called the ban arbitrary and capricious. His decision stemmed from a lawsuit filed by trade groups. At a news conference, Bloomberg talked confidently about getting the decision reversed in the appeals court. Bloomberg also said the judge made an error in interpreting the law.
America's fastest growing jobs is one of the most poorly paid jobs in the U.S. There are currently 2 million in-home care workers, and the Labor Department expects the job to grow by 70% by 2020. The hourly wage for most of the workers is less than $10. Many healthcare aides work part-time and do not receive benefits. The recent study by the estimates that immigrants make up to 28% of these workers. 53% of home health aides are minorities and are mostly uneducated. About 40% of home aides rely on public assistance. The Obama administration has been trying to change that over the past 2 years. Its efforts have been opposed by the home care industry.
Some researchers say they've examined more than 100 mummies and found many had clogged arteries. A study documenting hardened arteries among ancient mummies suggests that their diet may have caused the buildup of plaque in blood vessels. The team of researchers took CT scans of 137 mummies. Researchers found that over a third of the mummies had signs of hardened arteries. The study included a diverse population of mummies from locations such as Egypt, Peru, and islands off Alaska.
Researchers say some types of weight loss surgeries can reduce health problems. Dr. Manali Misra of Beverly Hills says successful weight loss surgery can shed 60 to 70% of excess body weight in about 2 years. This reduces ailments such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and sleep apnea. People with a body mass index of 30 to 35 with at least one medical problem can seek a weight loss surgery. In 2011, the FDA lowered the minimum requirements for this surgery. Some of these operations are covered by health insurance. Gastric bypass surgery is the most common type of weight loss procedure in the U.S.
AT&T plans to start selling BlackBerry's new Z10 phone later this month. The new smartphone is expected to hit AT&T stores in the U.S. March 22nd. The Z10 was introduced in January and is BlackBerry's latest response to Apple and Samsung's most popular models. Verizon Wireless and T-Mobile will also carry the phone.
Researchers say small water frogs sold as pets are linked to an outbreak of salmonella infections. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention found that the infection made nearly 400 people sick. Most of these hospitalized were children. This is the first salmonella outbreak associated with aquatic frogs. The frogs are marketed as pets for kids. Researchers say most people hear about salmonella contaminated food and are unaware that reptiles and amphibians also carry the bacteria.
Liking pages on Facebook may be more revealing than many people think. Researchers from the University of Cambridge in the UK say they were able to accurately tell much about a person based on the pages they like. The researchers say they were able to identify a person's race, age, sexuality, and even their IQ. The study is based on likes from friends' photos, status updates, and fan pages of restaurants, businesses, and products.
A Los Angeles father delivered his newborn son in the family car while on the way to an Antelope Valley hospital. The baby was delivered around 11 p.m. near the intersection of 15th Street and Avenue M in the Lake Los Angeles area. The mother was about to give birth, so they pulled over. The baby's father said he took the role of both doctor and nurse. Both the baby and mom are doing fine.
That's all for today. Thanks for watching Valley View News. Have a great day.